Was on reflection, a few days after that great weekend win, what does that do for the dynamics of a football club as you go through a season? Do you think something like that?
It has an uplifting effect immediately, over a couple of days, because everyone's buzzing about it, talking about it. Everyone's excited. That's sort of for the contact of people outside the footy club. But unfortunately, within the club, we have to knuckle down on the next job, so we don't reflect too much on it. But overall, it was an important game for us to win, and we won it. So we acknowledge that for sure.
I complimented the club the fact they put up Naitanui the morning after the match. The fact that the guy can handle that sort of focus. Is that one of the great traits of Nick?
Yeah, I think it's most players now understand that things are linked, that if you're involved in something that's pretty exciting for the game, that it's going to be promoted regardless of whether you have your say or not. So where possible, we'll have our players involved in that.
From day one, Nick was always going to have a big focus on him coming in with the hype that he did. But have you found that sort of over time he's embraced that, whereas in the past maybe a player like Chris Judd wasn't as comfortable being a figurehead and a role model? Do you find that Nick's really embraced it?
Nick's a wonderful young man, level-headed, with great values. He basically displays what's natural for him, and we're very lucky to have that package here.
John, injury-wise, is Delzile at the head of the list to replace Bellingham?
He's certainly well up on that list of several players that we're looking at for this week. So we're wrapped because Dell's in very good form for us.
What's his state of mind like, Bellingham? It's a big change last year and seemed excited and struggling.
He's disappointed. He's disappointed, but he's also positive in that this is not as serious as the other injury he had, and he's really clear on what he's got to do to get back and be available to play even quicker. So he knows the ropes now, and totally focused on that. And that's always a challenge for players, to go from being disappointed that you can't play to changing your whole focus around to being really excited about how strongly you can do your rehab and be available quickly. So you do have to have a change in mindset.
You have to be respectful towards GWS, but is this opportunity this weekend to rest some players, i.e. a Darren Glass or a Shuey, who seem to have rigorous starts to the season?
Glassy, I don't think he's feeling better than he's felt over the last few years. So I would question whether he would say it's been a rigorous start. He's in great form, but really our selection process this week is number one about picking the team we want to go over to win the game. That's our absolute focus.
Do you look at something like that as the season goes on? Teams like Geelong in the past have rested their veterans at different times. Is that something you'll look to do with the aim of finals?
It's something that we'll consider, as in the players' workloads. We've got a long break coming up after this game, 9-day break, and a bye a week or so after that. So that's part of our planning for the year about workloads, and the use of the sub role is part of our planning going forward as well. So there's various things that we look at over the course of the whole season.
Your stoppage work's been pretty good the whole season. Probably the first 3 or 4 weeks we weren't getting the reward on the scoreboard for the extra round of stoppages. Are you confident that's been rectified?
We still want to get better. Yeah, absolutely. So you're not going to win your stoppage work in every game you play, but we still think there's room for improvement. As much as we're satisfied with where we're at, we're working pretty hard to get better at it.
John, do you feel the team's getting better as the season goes on? One of the pre-season favourites for the finals, off to perhaps a slower start than most people thought pre-season, but do you think the team's improving and getting players back and improving as the season goes on?
Well, we've got players back, but we've also lost players along the way, so that's been a bit frustrating. And overall, we think the more we get our best team on the field for longer periods, we'll keep getting better. That's got to be our aim. Now, we lose couple of key players out of the weekend's game. So, our ability to say we've got our best team on the park is delayed again for a little while, but we still expect the boys that are out there to keep improving.
John, how much of a game do you believe is, player performance and how much is tactics?
It's a very good question. Strategies play a role because what you're doing is asking the 22 players you select each week to go out and play a certain way. Now, if you pick all guys under 170 centimetres tall and say we're going to kick the ball long and high, potentially it's not going to work. So they do have to go hand in hand. Your strategies have to be built around your squad, your capabilities. So there's that part, but player performance is a pretty big part of what we do in terms of our preparation as well.
Is one game enough in the Worsfold for Andrew Embley, or would you like to maybe see him play a couple more?
One game is enough. I think he ran well enough to say his match fitness and everything is ready to go. So he's available for selection seniors this week. But we'll take into account the form of other players, and if we had limited selection. In the past, he would come straight in. We've got some guys in really good form in Hutchings and Dalziel, etc. That we can consider, and so therefore it's about what's the best team going in this week.
And Nico, John, did he pull up okay?
He pulled up well. Yeah, got a lot of nerves and frustration out of his system, and really excited about seeing his footy progress over the remainder of this season.
Does he play a full game in the Rezzies this weekend now?
I can't answer that exactly. I would expect it's around 3/4, sort of 75, 80 minutes of footy this week.
Does that give the group a bit of a boost? He seems like a pretty popular player, and getting him back in the main fold.
Yeah, everyone was rapt to see him back playing last week. So he's been back out on the training track. So going back a month or so ago, everyone was excited that he was back out there joining in, and very pleased for him now.
John, there's a few theories about Mark Lacroix's inaccuracy. Have you got any theories, or is he just going through a patch?
Yeah, no, he's had the patch. He's through it. That's my theory.
He's coming good this weekend.
No, he's good. You're still talking as though he's still not good. He's good.
The arm guard,
has he done extra work on it to improve?
No, about the same volume as what he always does.
Peter Bell's had a theory on the arm guard affecting the ball droppers.
Yeah, is that right?
Yes.
Yep.
Do you...
No, I'm happy for Belly to have that theory. And if he's publicly actually putting it out there, he must be very strong on it. That's fine.
You don't think that's...
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I haven't worn the guard. I haven't weighed it. I haven't even touched it.
How long
I
does
haven't
he have that
smelt
on
it,
for?
definitely.
How long will he have that on for?
I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure.
John, what are you expecting from the Giants based on what you've seen this year?
An exciting team that will come to really make us work hard. Definitely make us work hard. So we looking forward to the challenge of meeting everything they throw at us.
What's a pass mark for you in a game like that? And by that I mean,
yep,
you would be expected to win, and you're probably expecting yourselves to win.
Yep.
So I mean,
so if we don't win, that's a fail.
Yep.
If we win, that's a pass. Yeah.
I mean, would you be content? Would you leave the Giants game content with a 6-goal win, or do you believe that?
No, every game you play, there's aspects of. Well, a great example is Friday night against North Melbourne. We win that game, are we totally happy? Or if we had a loss, are we totally disappointed? Was it a good game or a bad game? Where do you sit? You win. Did everything according to plan. Maybe just probably 20 seconds out, we should have kicked that goal before the siren went rather than just after it. Then it was perfect planning. So every game's the same. Margin doesn't really come into it. It's about working through what you go into the game to work on, what you want to get better at, deal with things that come up within the game where you get challenged and how you deal with those.
How did Adam Selwood react? There's been a little bit of criticism of him and the tackle, etc. How's he been this week? Is he frustrated by the talk? Or
I haven't spoken to him about it, but so I can't answer it. Yeah.
Do you think he'd be frustrated, or are you annoyed?
I'm not going to try and think for Adam.
What about yourself, for one of your players?
for receiving a free kick.
Was pretty critical of him.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you disappointed in people saying that, or is that?
No, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.